day. For this video, we will going to discuss about the human resources functions in the library. First, in human resources, it involves the benefits, recruitment, skill, talent, development, goals, and training. And later on, we will discuss this one by one in order for you to understand its real concept. So hiring an employee is just the first step. The new employee arrives at the library for the first day of work, and immediately there is a need for the orientation and training of this new worker. There has to be a compensation and benefits package already in place, and for as long as the employee remains on the job, there is a need for various other human resources functions to be performed. In this era of rapid change, there are always demands for training and staff development. So at least once a year, an employee's performance needs to be evaluated and possibly considered for a salary increase. Sometimes an employee has to be disciplined or wishes to file a grievance, and occasionally an employee needs to be terminated. All of these activities are an integral part of the human resources responsibilities of managers. So, we have here training and staff development. It involves the orientation, initial job training, training and staff development for established employees. So, in a library, there are many levels of training, some of which are received by everyone and some of which are more individualized. Although training can be expensive, it is false economy to try to minimize these expenses over a period of time. The cost to the institution is returned in quality performance. So training is a never-ending process. There are always new employees that need training or new systems that need to be taught. So the first type of training typically received is an orientation. So here are the purpose of orientation. Orientation helps new employees to feel welcome and at ease, understand the organization, know what is expected in work and behavior, and lastly, begin the socialization process. So in orientation, it usually includes information about the organization, which includes the goals, objectives, and philosophies. So the general information must be include the rules and policies concerning pay periods, how vacation and sick leave are accumulated and used, requirements for reporting illness, and use of time sheets. So the units such as the Human Resources Office, the Public Information Office, and various subject or functional departments are described so that employees see their role within the total organization. Using visual presentations and permitting extensive discussion and questions make such sessions more productive. So many libraries have specific ways of doing things, and the reasons for these procedures are explained. So, let's talk about the initial job training. So, as soon as a new employee reports for work, the immediate supervisor begins training him or her in the specific task of the job. There are many ways of training. The worst way is to describe briefly the task to be performed and then let the employee figure out the rest. So, the new employee already uneasy from being in a new environment with new responsibilities will absorb little of the supervisor's remarks. So others may fail, and their failure is the fault of the supervisor for not providing appropriate training. So we have here training must be carefully planned. So we have here a table that contains principles to guide a trainer. First, teach the simple task and break down the task into its basic components. Next, teach only the correct procedures. Next, keep teaching cycles short and reinforce them with practice. Next, develop skills through repetition and do not train too far in advance to avoid the employee forgetting what was learned. And lastly, motivate the trainee by emphasizing the relationship between the training and good job performance. When it comes in training and staff development for established employees, it is not only new employees who needs training. Any staff member who works in a library needs continuous updating to stay current. The rapid changes taking place in all types of libraries compel library monitors to attach new importance to training and staff development. So we have here the performance appraisal. So when we say performance appraisal, it is the systematic evaluation of an individual employee's job-related strengths and weaknesses. In all types of organizations, employees have to be evaluated. So why appraisals are done? So we have the formal assessment, and there have two main objectives. First, to determine how well an employee performs in the job, and next, to help an employee understand how well he or she doing. So who does the appraisal? Who do you think? Probably supervisors, because they have the greatest opportunity to observe the work and performance of these employees, and it includes the peer appraisals, appraising superiors, 360-degree appraisals, and self-appraisals. Next, we have here the standards that need to be established. First, the quality quantity standards, the side effect standards, and the manner or performance standards. And also we have common errors found in performance appraisal. Number 1, the Hall effect, splitting the rating assigned to one characteristic unduly influence rating on all factors. Prejudice and fertility, splitting personal feelings about subordinate affect the rating given to that subordinate. Leniency or strictness, supervisors using different standards for evaluation, those resulting in employees receiving vastly different ratings. Number 4, central tendency, reluctance to use either the high or low extremes of the rating scales, resulting in all ratings clustering about the center. Number 5, contrast, not measuring the work the employees has actually done, but the work the thinks the employees has the potential to achieve. Number 6, association supervisor, with a large number of evaluation to complete rating factors at the same level, merely because they follow each other on the page. Recency, a supervisor authorizing only the work the employee has done in the recent past rather than the work done over the either period of time. Coverage by the appraisal. And also, methods of performance appraisal. In the AC method, the rather describes an individual's performance in a written narrative. In the ranking method, the supervisor ranks the employees from highest to lowest, from best employees to worst. In the force distribution method, assume that performance in group of employees is distributed according to normal curve.
The graphic rating scale method is the most commonly used method of performance appraisal in libraries and information centers. The rather evaluates the employee on such factors as quality of work, dependability, initiative, job, knowledge, and accuracy. The behaviorally anchored rating scales method bars were created to correct some of the deficiencies of the graphic rating scale. The performance appraisal interview. After the evaluation form is complete, the rather must share the result with the employee. This information is usually provided in a performance appraisal interview. Also, discipline and grievances. Discipline is the action taken by organization against an employee when that employee's performance has deteriorated to the point where action is necessary or when that employee has violated an institutional rule. Sometimes an employee has a complaint about the organization or its management. In that case, the employee may need to use the organization grievance procedure to resolve the problem. And also the grievance procedures. The grievance procedure specifies a series of steps to resolve a worker's complaint that management has not followed the agreement. Grievances are most often precipitated by the complaint of an employee against a supervisor. Step of an employee intended grievance procedures typically include, and these are the steps. Step 1. Employee discuss grievance with the supervisor. Step 2. Grievance put into writing and parties discuss. The grievance management puts response in writing. Step 3. If unsuccessful, the grievance is appealed. Step 4. Union decides whether to appeal to arbitration. Firing or termination. Firing is the term that is usually used for cause dismissal. Termination results from an employee's failure to meet job expectation after a responsible amount of time. Grievance system. A grievance system provides a method for employees to deal with the problems they have with supervisor or with the organization. WIGS refers to the compensation of employees whose pay is collected according to the number of hours worked each week. Salary refers to compensation that is uniform from one pay period to the wage determination process, job analysis, job evaluation, wage survey, preparation of wage structure, designing pay range. Employees compensation. Determination of salary. The determination of the salary associated with any job should be directly related to the requirements for that job. The higher the job requirements, the higher the salary. Development of salary scale. A salary scale establishes the amount of money that will be paid for the accomplishment of the duties designated in the job description. Salary increase. There are common methods of determining salary increase in libraries and information centers are length of service, merit, or some combination of these two factors. Length of service equals increased pay with seniority. The merit system is based on the concept that salary increase should be awarded only for quality performance. Most libraries use some combination of merit and seniority to award increase. All employees may be awarded an increase of a certain monetary amount of percentage if their job performance is meritorious. Recognition and awards. Individuals working in libraries rarely receive the monetary rewards, such as stock option or bonus, that are valid to employees in the private sector. Employees' benefits. Social Security, health insurance, paid time off includes vacation, holidays, and various types of level. Employees with retirement plans.